Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today in our today is the last video of unit 2 of business analytics. We will be covering the last topic, pivot tables and pivot charts, and this is the very important video and you must pay very clear attention. So let's start. Pivot tables, as we all know, is a very interactive way of presentation of data and analysis of the data. So pivot tables are an important part of MS Excel that allows users to quickly summarize the large amount of data and analyze the numerical data in detail and answer the unanticipated questions about data. So such a table is specifically designed to query data in user friendly and interactive way. So here is a data set given with a 6 column and 213 rows. So to insert a pivot table, following steps need to be followed. So first one is click any single cell inside the data set, and in the insert tab go to tables group. Here's the option called pivot table. We need to click on that, and from the dialog box that will appear, Excel automatically selects the data, and the default location set for a new pivot table is new workbook. So here is the dialog box that appears for creation of pivot table after this one. Okay, and in the new workbook we can here the default setting is new workbook where the pivot table report is to be placed. Also we can also let our output in the existing workbook by clicking on this and entering the location, but it is preferred to opt for a new workbook since it's a presentable, it should look presentable. So preferring a new workbook for output is a better choice, and then clicking on OK. Now on the workbook, the new workbook that will appear with this dialog box on the right hand side of our worksheet, where we can drag and drop between the areas, like how we want our data to be. These are the headers of our data that is to be dragged upon to the columns or the rows as we want to present our data. So if for example to get the total amount exported in each product, drag the product field and in the rows area, and the amount field to the values, and the country in the filters area. So we can make a pivot table out of that. So it's so simple. Next is the pivot chart. Pivot chart is a dynamic visualization tool that helps the users to summarize and analyze large data sets. Trends and patterns can easily be identified using pivot charts. They're used to present complex data in a clear, concise, and interactive and flexible manner. For example, with a pivot chart, users can easily visualize how sales vary across the different geographical regions, product categories, or specific time periods. So to insert a pivot chart using data from pivot table we just made before, follow the steps. Click on any cell inside the pivot table. That means the new workbook you created, you should select any cell from that data, and then on the pivot table analyze tab there will be new tab that will be open as we click on. We saw that if we click on our pie chart or bar graph, a new customization tabs will open. Same way in pivot table analyze tab will open, and we have to just click on the pivot chart in the tools group, just like here. This is the pivot table analyze tab, tools group, pivot chart. Okay, then click on OK to insert the chart. The pivot chart will appear on the screen, and any changes made to the pivot table immediately reflect in the pivot table and vice versa. So this is same just like we saw in our regular graphs, where we select our data ranges and the graph or the pie chart will appear, and any changes made to this data set will make simultaneous changes in our graphs. Okay, and same is the concept of pivot table and pivot chart. Okay, now the most important way is interactive dashboard creation. So interactive dashboard creation is usually one pager report that allows business user to track and measure the crucial business KPIs and metrics under one roof. It means it's just it's like a we performed all the steps to analyze it, to make it more simpler, more easier. So this dashboard is like an output. We just saw, in the starting, very starting, that there is a process. We need to first first we need raw material, we process it, then to make a finished good, and then it is sold in the market. Same way, our raw material was data preparation, cleansing steps. Production was like we are analyzing it to get into the data. And for this output, final output, the interactive dashboards need to be created so that it can be sold, or final analysis could be done. I mean, decisions are made out of this output only. So decision making process is easier with the way of this interactive dashboards, that is crucial for businesses. So it combines chart, figures, tables to help user visualize complicated data into easy understandable format. An interactive dashboard can be created by using the following steps. So first step is define the purpose. Firstly, we need to define the purpose of the dashboard, why we need to create it. So for this, you must be clear with the answers for two questions. We need to get into two questions cleared in our mind, that are: why is this dashboard being created, and for whom it is created? Why it is created and for whom it is created. Different stakeholder department within the organization want to analyze different facts and figures. For example, if CFO focuses on key financial matrices while investor is interested in summarized dashboard, so it is important to understand the purpose of the dashboard, and then collect the data around it for the accurate and effective decision making. Okay, and the next step is, second step, we call it gathering the data in the form of table, and then convert this table into pivot table. So this is done by selecting the table, insert tab, pivot table, as we have done already. This is the same step. So if you want 3 pivot charts on the interactive, then you must have 3 pivot tables. Okay, so because you are catering to the interest of 3 different personal, for example, CFOs, managers, or the investors. For example, we say 3 pivot tables, as one is for higher management, second is for managers, and third is for investors. So for 3 private charts, 3 pivot tables need to be there in creation of the interactive dashboard. So you can simply duplicate the pivot table sheet in the Excel workbook. Step 3 is creating the chart using the pivot table. Creating charts using pivot table is same as pivot chart making only. The first chart would represent every product monthly sale. For this, we need 3 data entries. This is as per the example the book authors have taken. It's the example of same. In the pivot sheet, drag and drop the month, same like here. This is the right hand side of the when you insert pivot table. Next step is pivot table analysis. Group may click on the pivot chart right here. When we select this right here, pivot table analysis, this is quite blur, but you can see pivot table analysis tab is open, and the other one is design tab. So we can click on this to create a suitable chart from the drop down. Like this chart will be there. Okay, so once the chart is created, we can style it using the formatting option just in this design tab. Click on the plus sign besides it to take on the following. जो आपको दिखाना है, you can select it from here. Chart title, legend, axis we have already done. Data table representing all the values. So here is the interactive dashboard. 3 pivot table charts using 3 pivot tables. After formatting, it can be moved to interactive dashboard sheet. Repeat the same step to create other pivot and place it in interactive dashboards. Next is interactive features to the dashboard. For this, select any chart, create on pivot chart, analyze. Click on insert timeline. However, to insert a timeline, any pivot table to any pivot chart, there must be a date column. Make sure that date checkbox is tick before you press OK. Okay, so timeline के लिए we need dates, है ना. for increasing order, any order, we need dates. So you make sure when you are selecting these options right here, dates should be there, date column should be ticked. Next is like timeline. Slicer can also be added. Slicer is a another advanced Excel option where you can get it right here in pivot table analyze only, insert slicer. Timeline के साथ ही there is option of slicer only, where it is like table wala clicking thing. When you click on this option, the other output gets as per the heading. So this is a slicer. Added to the interactive dashboard. Slicer is a fancy name for a filter only. Yeah, we added the filter for the table in the starting of the chapter. So it's like a advanced feature of filter option only, where filter is like whole data is visible and you apply filter on a single column and this got changed as per the heading. Same is like that. You don't have the entire data in place. You do have the data in place, but at the other side, not in the slicer only. Okay, so slicer is like a tab or a clicking option is there, so that the output is just as per the heading. This is slicer and this is the filter. Okay. To add the slicer, perform the steps. Click on the pivot chart, insert tab, slicer option from the list. Perform slice and dice operation. Performing this operation, you need to connect to slicer to the chart. Click on the slicer to activate. In the slicer tab, click on report connection. And from the list of pivot tables, check the boxes. Okay. So here comes our, this is called slicer. This is a slicer. When you move this will change accordingly. So this is called slicer. This is charts, 3 charts we made, and yeah, here the chapter ends. So thank you so much guys for being with me till here, and your unit 2 is complete. In next video we might start with the next unit, that is R, I guess. Yeah, getting started with R. We'll start doing the R as soon as possible. I'll upload the videos, and if you like the video, thank you. You must click the like button, subscribe and share it with your friends. Thank you so much.